All right, here we go again with another Blu-ray update. We got 111 in the month of February. Gone up a lot since last month. Let's do it. How's it going, everybody? Tommy Star here. Thank you for clicking on this video. Welcome to another Blu-ray update. All my pickups for the month of February, and we got 111. And yeah, like I just mentioned, we've more than doubled January. I think I had 48 in January. But regardless, I got some kick-ass stuff. Definitely went crazy picking up titles in February. I have an enormous amount of A to Z. We got a lot of pickups from my specialty lines, like we got one MVD, tons of Scream Factories, just one collector edition, so mostly just non-collector edition Scream Factories for February. We got a ton of Vinegar Syndrome. Yeah, I kind of went crazy on Vinegar Syndrome, and I actually got some Vinegar Syndrome titles that I've been after for so long, some pretty rare ones that I'm so happy I got. I cannot wait to share with you guys. And then we got a couple 4K, a couple collector sets, a few DVDs, big chunk of horror, and a nice big stack of Steelbooks. Just some amazing Steelbooks I cannot wait for you guys to see. So let's quit talking and let's get into the update. Okay, starting with DVDs like usual. First one I'm going to show you here is a movie called Death House. I think you guys see me pick this up in one of my Blu-ray shopping videos. It's the movie that, you know, I've heard about for so long that they were making, that was the Expendables of horror, with a whole bunch of, you know, famous horror legends getting together to make this one kick-ass movie. I had to watch it right when I got it, and to be honest with you, I was really let down with this movie. It was so freaking weird, and I didn't understand it. It was hard to follow. I mean, it had some cool cameos of the actors, you know, but it's just, I couldn't follow it. It was just a really weird movie, but I had to get it. It was cheap. All right, another one I found really cheap. This goes for a decent price online, but I was lucky enough to find it in Half Price Books clearance section for $1. And that is the movie Kids. Still wish they'd make a Blu-ray of this one. I've never owned it on DVD, so I just figured I'd grab the DVD since it was only $1. And like I said, hopefully we'll see it on Blu-ray at some point. But this is that movie I think I was talking about in my last update. That movie of mid-90s that came out, directed by Jonah Hill. It reminded me a lot of this movie. Kind of the same thing in a sense. This one's a little bit more adult-oriented. But it's good. I enjoy it. Definitely a powerful movie. But happy to own it for $1. Glad to add it to the collection now. And the last DVD I got, I had to pick this up, and that is the special collector edition of The Ultimate Warrior, Always Believe. And it comes with a cool little mini Funko Pop keychain. I remember they put out 2 documentaries on The Ultimate Warrior. The first one I bought a long time ago, and I always wanted to get this particular one. It's the same one they released, but they just put it in the special set with the keychain now, but same thing. But I never ended up buying it. And I watched it, and wow, amazing. Definitely a big tearjerker. I mean, Ultimate Warrior will always be my #1 favorite wrestler of all time. And this was definitely a really sad documentary. Definitely a big-time tearjerker. I recommend this to any fan who hasn't seen it, any 80s and 90s wrestling fan. Definitely check this out. And, you know, what a cool little collection to get the keychain. You know, this was exclusive over at Walmart. So, all right, that's it for DVDs. Okay, so I'm just going to run through the 2 collector sets I got, little collector editions. First one, I did an unboxing of this, so you guys have already seen it. But that is just the little like VHS retro box set of the original 1990 It. Like usual, anything that you see in this update that I did unboxings for, I'll put in the description down below because they go into more detail. You know, I open them up and everything. But just a cool little collector item for the shelf. You know, makes it look like an old school VHS. So I actually ordered this from I think Italy. It came with some of those Mondo Steelbooks that I picked up. You'll see in a little bit here, but yeah, I thought it was cool. Now the other collector set that I got, I still haven't even opened yet, and that is that Wizard of Oz 75th anniversary edition that Walmart had, and I think you can still find them in Walmart. I thought they'd go a lot quicker, but they didn't. But I still have yet to open this up. Like I said, you guys, I'm still debating on doing a video. Here's a quick look at everything that comes in the collection. I mentioned this before. If you guys want to see an unboxing of this, you know, before I open it, if you want me to do it on video, you know, just let me know in the comments below and I'll make a video of it. But I'll get to opening this soon. But just happy to have this really cool looking collector set for Wizard of Oz. So, all right, let's get into the next category. Okay, 4K. We got 2 of them in February. Still slowly adding to the 4K collection. Not going crazy. Still just some here and there. Trying to pick up some favorites of mine on 4K, and then usually newer movies that come out, most of them I get in 4K, some I don't, you know. But either way, I finally got Predator, the original Predator, on 4K. This went down to 15 bucks at Best Buy, and then after selling the code, I only paid like 8 or 9 bucks for it. So, and then the only other 4K I got, Bohemian Rhapsody. I had to get this movie on 4K. I watched it, and oh my god, you guys, phenomenal. Absolutely loved it. I thought it was a perfectly made movie. I love biopics, and this is definitely one of my favorites now. Definitely one of my top, I would probably say top 3 of biopics. But God, I mean, what's his name? I always forget how Rami Malek. Amazing job as Freddie Mercury. That's all I can say. So I enjoyed it a lot. I know it had some mixed reviews about not exactly, you know, getting the story straight and the timeline straight, but I had a lot of fun watching this movie. Thought it was fantastic. All right, getting into Disney, a couple non-slip to Disney I'm going to show you here. I found this at a, where did I get this at? I think I found this over at, oh, I got this actually at like this little comic book store that Jess and I stopped to. We were out of town a couple weeks ago, and I found this, in this little shop. This movie called College Road Trip. Just a title for the, for the Disney collection. One that I needed to get. Okay, and I picked up a few more Disney Movie Club exclusives. I actually got these from my buddy Kirsten. I've been buying a lot of movies from him recently. He's been selling off a lot of his collection. And I would have gotten every one of the Disney Movie Club exclusives that he had. But I think he ended up giving most of them to his mom, I think. I can't remember. But I was able to get a few of them. We got The Last Flight of Noah's Ark. And then I got the Herbie's films. We got Herbie Rides Again. Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo. And Herbie Goes Bananas. So just still adding to them, trying to get every single one. I think I'm down to needing about around 10 more or so, I think. And I'll have, the whole collection of every one of these, so. Okay, next up here is just another Disney title that I picked up just for the collection. I see a Disney label and I'm snagging it. So we got a movie called Sharpay's Fabulous Adventure. I found this really cheap with the slipcover. It was like $3 or $4. So, I mean, I don't know anything about it, but like I said, it's Disney. I buy it. And then, have not watched this yet. I don't know why, because I loved the first movie and I couldn't wait for it to come out on, on Blu Ray. And here it is. I've had it now for a couple weeks and I still haven't watched it. But Ralph Breaks the Internet. Heard a lot of good things about this movie. A lot of people like it. I haven't heard many people say it being better than the first one, but it was liked by a lot of people from what I hear. So cannot wait to check this movie out very, very soon. And then the last from my Disney, we got the brand new Signature Collection Digibook for Little Mermaid. And like I mentioned before, it did end up coming in one of those weird digi-packs now that they're doing. And this is the 4K ones. Still haven't decided what I'm doing with Signature Collection yet. For the meantime, I'm just going to keep getting the digibooks. I don't know. It is cool looking. I mean, cool picture. I really liked the Steelbook they released for Little Mermaid for the Signature Collection. But gotta stick with the collection and keep getting them. So. Okay, A to Z titles. We got a lot to go through. So you guys, I'm going to try to bust through these as fast as possible. First one up here. So a lot of these you're going to see I got, again, like I said, from my buddy Kirsten. He's been selling off a lot of his Blu-rays and been selling them to me at amazing prices. So I'm so thankful for him to help add to my collection. So Jess and I went through and we picked out a ton. Different stacks. I got a bunch in, in this month as well that you'll see on my next month when I do my March update. But anyways, here we go. We got Dolphin Tale. This is one that Jess picked up. The Pebble and the Penguin. She picked this up for her kids. We got Bride Wars, another one that Jess wanted. Picked up Dan in Real Life from him, a Steve Carell film. I thought it was pretty good. I definitely liked it enough to own it. I remember when I first seen it, I was hoping it would be better, but it was still a pretty decent flick. Picked up Space Invaders from him. Definitely a Blu-ray I've wanted for a long time. Brings me way back. Jack Black film, Be Kind, Rewind. I always like adding to the Jack Black collection. We got Camp Nowhere with Christopher Lloyd. Another fun movie. This one I was really happy to get. I've been meaning to pick this up off of Amazon for a while. All-time favorite classic film of mine, Free Willy. I wish they'd put part 2 on Blu-ray. I really actually enjoy part 2. Yeah, Free Willy, really happy to have that. And I also picked up from him An American Tale, 5 Goes West. I needed part 2 because I already had part 1, so happy to get that one. Just trying to bust through the ones that I got from him. This one here, you guys, I couldn't believe he sold me this. This is an out-of-print Blu-ray, and the deal he gave me on this just blew me away. He kicks ass. I love you, brother. You're just awesome. But Tommy Lee Jones and Volcano. I know it's not like the greatest movie in the world, but I always enjoyed it, and for some reason it was out of print. And this goes for a hefty penny. I mean, it's like I've seen it go for 50, 60 bucks. And he sold it to me for like, I don't even know, like $10 or something crazy like that. So thanks so much, man. I can't believe I got this for the price I did. It's unbelievable. And then another one I picked up from him, The Adventures of Milo and Otis. Another classic favorite of mine from when I was a kid. I think that's pretty much it that I got from him for now that I see in this stack. So, all right, next up here is the title I think I picked up over at Half Price Books, Cocktail with Tom Cruise. Great late 80s flick. I say this a lot, I'm not a real big Tom Cruise fan, but I kind of like this film. You also get Elizabeth Shue in here. I picked this up over at, I think that day I went to High Score Video, What Happens in Vegas, Ashton Kutcher, Cameron Diaz. Definitely a title I wanted to get on Blu-ray. Next up here is Open Season. Really like this film a lot. Ashton Kutcher and Martin Lawrence do the voices in this film. I picked this up at High Score Video as well, but really happen to have this one. I'd like to get the sequels at some point, but I think the voice actors get replaced in the sequels. But all right, next up here's another Mark Wahlberg film for the collection here, Italian Job. I wasn't a real big fan of this film when I seen it. I just really wanted to get it for the Mark Wahlberg collection. I was trying to get anything by Mark Wahlberg on Blu-ray, but yeah, I mean, it was decent, but I don't know. I didn't like it as much as most people. So I found this one over at Pawn Shop, I believe. The Rundown with The Rock and Sean William Scott. I mainly got it for Sean William Scott because I just think he's awesome in this movie. I love all his movies. Yeah, kind of a cool find. Got it for like $3 over at Pawn America. I got this at the pawn shop as well, The Hungover Games. I actually thought this movie was pretty funny. It was pretty decent, for a spoof movie. A lot of times it was just over the top and stupid, but this one was decent. I liked it. Another film I picked up for the Stallone collection, The Specialist, with him and Sharon Stone. Happened to come across this, not really one that you see a lot. I think I found this at that pawn shop as well, so happy to add that to the Stallone collection. This is a spoof movie I've actually wanted to get for a while. Another one that I really enjoy, and that is a superhero movie. I really like this movie a lot. I thought it was pretty badass. I like how it really spoofs a lot on the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man film. I like it a lot. I'm not a fan on all spoof movies, but there are a few that I like, and I always like to add them to the collection. So really happy to find this one. This was one that's been on the list, you know, as I shop out in the wild trying to find. So to come across this, I was like, yes. First time to Blu-ray, we got Starsky and Hutch, released by Warner Archive. So happy to finally get this to Blu-ray. Had to pick this up on the day of release. I found this over at Half Price Books. Was kind of happy to get this movie. It first came out on DVD, Woody Woodpecker. And when I seen it come out on DVD, I wasn't really interested in getting it, but until I found out it was actually a live action film. I thought it was like a cartoon. I mean, I liked Woody Woodpecker as a kid, but you know, I just thought it was just like a, you know, another Woody Woodpecker cartoon. But I found it was live action. I'm like, oh, I wish they'd release that on Blu-ray, and then eventually they did. And it was always like 20 bucks on like BestBuy.com and Amazon and whatnot. But then finally I found it at Half Price Books for like $6. So I'm like, sweet, definitely worth it to check out. So this next one here, I haven't watched yet, and I'm sure is complete garbage. But I bought it for $3 at Half Price Books. And that is a Cop and a Half New Recruit, the cheesy, you know, straight-to-video sequel. I don't know. I just picked it up just for the hell of it. I mean, Lou Diamond Phillips is in here. Be kind of interesting to see what he's like these days acting. So, I don't know. All right. Almost done with the non-slip. We got Julia Roberts and Aaron Brockovich. I actually really enjoyed this movie. My ex-wife made me watch this years and years ago. And I didn't want to see it, and afterwards I'm glad I watched it. So picked this up really cheap as well. So happy to add that to the collection. And then the last non-slip, first time to Blu-ray, Heart and Souls. So happy this finally came to Blu-ray. I've already watched it. Transfer looks incredible. Love this movie so much. Robert Downey Jr. Check this movie out, you guys. It's definitely worth a watch. I think you guys will really enjoy this movie. So happy to see this on Blu-ray. All right, let's get into the A to Z slipcovers. Okay, so the first stack I'm going to run through as you guys know, I've recently been really getting into the new DreamWorks slipcovers. I got a lot in the month of February, and every time I see them, I'm trying to snag them. Some of these were duplicates. I've already had the movie, but I didn't have this particular style slipcover. So I'm picking them up and then just getting rid of the other ones that I have because I want all these to match. So we'll just run through these super fast here. But I really like the look of these, you guys. First one up here, we got Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron. Then we got Megamind, the Boss Baby. They're just, you know, that big face look that you get on a lot of slipcovers these days, like with Disney and things like that, Pixar's. Captain Underpants. I like this one better because the first release of this was that thicker slip because it came with that cape. And I didn't really like that. So now we got like just a standard size slipcover. So. And then I picked up the Croods, Mr. Peabody and Sherman. You can find most of these at like Target, Walmart, Best Buy, but some of them are, there's a couple in here that were actually exclusive to Walmart, I heard. Home, I've never actually even seen this movie. Now these next two I believe were the exclusive ones to Walmart. Shark Tale. And then Over the Hedge. And then, if you guys remember from a few updates ago, I recently replaced all my Shrek movies with these same exact slipcovers. And I'm so happy I finally got this one out because this matches the other Shrek films. And that's Puss in Boots. So now all these match, you know, with the slipcover look. I just love it. And then one of my all-time favorites. And that's Monsters vs. Aliens. And then the last one here that I just happened to find at a Best Buy that was where I was when Jess and I took that little trip of ours. But Kung Fu Panda 3. I don't have 1 and 2, but I just picked this up while I seen it. I'm trying to find 1 and 2. I'll get them eventually, but it was like $6 at that Best Buy, and I had never seen it at any of my Best Buys, so I had to grab it. But I just love them. I mean, I just love the look, how they all match. Like, if you look at them all from the side, I mean, I just love the look of that, how they all just match with the, you know, with the white, and then they all got like a picture down at the bottom. I know. I've always loved them. And I'm going to just keep collecting these. Like I said, I got more in this month that you guys will see next month, you know. So just going to keep snagging them. Okay, now over at that same Best Buy I was telling you about, Jess picked this up. We've never seen this at any of our Best Buys, and that is Oklahoma. She was very happy to come across this movie. Really cool edition, you know, with the slipcover. We even got a digital code in here, and I sold that sucker in like seconds. But one of her favorite films. Next up here is a newer film that Jess picked up. That is Mary Queen of Scots. She's already watched it. She actually tried to get me to watch it. I watched bits and pieces of it, but it just wasn't my thing. But I don't know. I think she kind of liked it. I don't know. She didn't seem too impressed with it, but I don't know. Next up here is A Star Is Born. Her and I both watched this. This was actually a pretty good film. I actually enjoyed it a lot. Anything music related with films, yeah, I always dig. But yeah, it was pretty good. I was really after that Target exclusive slipcover that they had of this, and I was a little late in getting that, unfortunately. But I thought Lady Gaga was just amazing in this movie. Just one hell of an actress. But yeah, definitely had a good time with it. Definitely a tearjerker at the end of the movie. All right, next up here's a brand new Stallone film with Matthew Modine, Backtrace. Haven't watched it yet, but anytime I see a new title coming out with Stallone, I don't give a shit what it's like. I'm going to buy it just because I'm stupid. Okay, another movie that Jess really wanted to get, The Great Gatsby with Leo DiCaprio. Yeah, I mean, it was definitely one that I kind of wanted to check out myself. So when I finally found it with the slipcover, I figured, you know, what the hell, like $3 over at Half Price Books. Next up here, we got the Blues Brothers. I was able to find with that really cool Best of the Decades slipcover. I've owned this movie already on a Steelbook, but I really wanted the slipcover edition of this as well. So really happy to find that at Half Price Books. Next up here is the brand new Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. So this, it's newer. It's been out for, I think, a couple months now, and it hasn't really gone down in price in store, but I actually found it at Half Price Books for like, in their clearance section, believe it or not, for like $6. So apparently it wasn't a very popular movie because they're already selling it really cheap. So, but I had the first one. I know Jess and my mom loves these movies, so I had to get the new one. Okay, next up here we got Norm of the North. I remember I came across this at Half Price Books one day, and I think it was like a couple days before a Tuesday, you know, for a Blu Ray shopping video. And all of a sudden, I didn't even realize this was coming out that day, Norm of the North Part 2 got released. And everywhere I looked, it was just released on DVD. But Walmart was actually the only one that carried exclusively on Blu Ray. So within the, you know, same couple of days, I was able to get both of these. I really liked the first one, this one here. I'd seen it way back when it came out. My son and I really enjoyed it. And I didn't even know, like I said, that they were coming out with a sequel. So definitely looking forward to checking that out. Just a couple more A to Z left. Picked up Pulp Fiction with the slipcover. Found that over at Half Price Books. Couldn't believe it. This tends to be a harder slipcover to find. So happy to finally get the slipcover edition of probably my favorite Quentin Tarantino film. Okay, I think, was it last month that I bought the first one, or for my January update? But I finally found this with the slipcover at probably Half Price Books again. Found a lot of stuff there in February, but A Bad Mom's Christmas. My buddy Craig was always telling me how the second one he liked so much better than the first one. So now I got them both, so hopefully I'll get to them at some point in my life. This one we picked up. I know Jess really wanted this when it first came out, and it finally dropped down to like $10, so we grabbed it. That is the new Jennifer Garner film, Peppermint. This actually sounds really cool. I remember wanting to pick this up on release date, but then I never did. But I'm glad I waited because I got it so cheap. But this actually looks really cool. I'm really actually interested in seeing this movie. So, And then the last A to Z title here is the brand new Grinch film. Still haven't watched this yet. I don't know if I'm going to watch this anytime before Christmas. You know, just being a Christmas movie, you know, I might just wait till then. I probably will because I have like 10,000 other movies to watch, but I still had to pick it up for, you know, I just love Grinch movies, you know. Yeah, I mean, there's only like, this is the third one now, so, and I love the first two, so. All right, that is all my A to Z titles. Let's move on to the next category. Okay, getting into the horror pickups. So, starting with non-slipcovers, we got Cabin Fever Patient Zero. This actually has a slipcover. I was looking it up and I found it that it did have one, so I gotta find it. This is the third one in the franchise. Number 2 actually isn't even on Blu-ray. Only the first one, this one, the third one, and the remake. Yeah, I just picked this up just for the collection. All right, so you guys seen that I got part 1 and part 2 in some of my recent updates, and now I finally got part 3. I Spit on Your Grave, and I just got to get the original one now on Blu-ray. I still got to find that one. It's an out-of-print one, so I'm crossing my fingers I find it cheap out in the wild. There's actually a 4th one coming out now, you know, for these remakes. It comes out, I think, in, I don't know, May or something like that. It's called I Spit on Your Grave, Deja Vu. I don't know. I definitely am interested in picking that up. I definitely will get it when it comes out, but I like these movies. They're definitely got some cool kills and stuff in them. All right, I got this from my buddy Kirsten as well. That is the Monster Squad. I've always had the other edition of Monster Squad on Blu-ray, but this is the special edition one that comes with, like, you know, all the special features. The edition that I had doesn't really have any special features, and this one does. And this is like this basically the same edition that they released on DVD the same time that it came to Blu-ray. And I never ended up picking this up at the time. I just got the DVD one. But I loved the special features on the DVD. So I'm so happy that I finally got this. And this is actually kind of out of print itself. It doesn't go for super big money. But it's a hard one to come across. So thankful I finally got the correct edition of this movie that I wanted. Now, if only this came with a slipcover. Next up here is a movie that finally got re-released to Blu-ray. This was out of print for the longest time. That is Fright Night. So happy to finally have this on Blu-ray. Kick ass. I think this got released by Sony. So happy to finally be able to afford this movie on Blu-ray. Okay, so I don't keep this with my Scream Factory because it's actually Shout Factory, but the original Piranha. It says Shout on the side, but this was basically supposed to be like one of the first in the Scream Factory line, even though it's not marked as Scream Factory. So because it doesn't say Scream Factory on the side, I just keep it with my regular horror titles. But so happy to finally have the original Piranha on Blu-ray. Okay, I think that's it for non-slips. Yeah, so this finally made its way to the Walmart dump bin. I remember wanting to get this when it first came out. It wasn't much more than the dump bin price when it first came out, but a movie called Found Footage 3D. Just sounds like a pretty cool slasher film. And with that cool slipcover, and it went down to like $5. I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, I'm gonna grab it. Next up here is the Cloverfield Paradox, third film of the Cloverfield franchise. Haven't watched it yet. I heard it's not anywhere near as good as the last one that came out, 10 Cloverfield Lane, but happy to have it. Looking forward to checking it out soon. Next up here is a Nicolas Cage film, Left Behind. One I've wanted to check out for a while, and I found it really, really cheap with the slipcover, so I figured, what the hell. I found this really cheap with the slipcover also. Let Me In. I remember kind of liking this film when I first seen it, so I figured I'd grab it as long as I found it so cheap with the slipcover. This next one here, I think I found at FYE one day, and it was used, so it was actually pretty cheap. And it had the slipcover. I've actually always wanted to see this movie. I don't know a lot about it. House at the End of the Street. I've heard kind of mixed things, not a lot, but I mean, it was really cheap. I figured what the hell, I'll grab it for the horror collection, so. Okay, and then the last one for the horror category here is one I was so happy to find. I found this off of eBay. It wasn't that much at all. I think it was like maybe 20 bucks or something like that. And it's got the exclusive Comic-Con 2013 slipcover on here. And that is Silence of the Lambs. I cannot believe I found this. This is just badass. It came with its own Amaray. You know, I mainly just wanted the slipcover, but the whole, like the art that's on the slipcover is on the Amaray as well. So the standard edition I had, just the generic bare bones Silence of the Lambs that I had, I just, you know, got rid of. But I'm so happy to finally have Silence of the Lambs with that kick-ass slipcover. I know there's the really cool Criterion release of Silence of the Lambs that I probably should have got, but, you know, to be honest with you, I'm happy with this. And you do get a nice chunk of special features on here. So, all right, that's it for horror. Let's move on. All right, so now we're going to get into all the specialty line. First one up here is from my MVD Rewind collection. This is the only one I got for February, and that is Double Dragon. So happy that this got released to Blu-ray. It's just so kick-ass. I've already watched it. It looks amazing. It's just so cool to see this on Blu-ray, and just what an awesome release. Okay, so we got a bunch here. We'll just kind of bust through them. So the first one here I got from my buddy Kirsten, and that is The Crush with Alicia Silverstone. So happy. This has been on the Scream Factory list for a long time that I wanted to pick up, and he sold it to me for like $5. I just couldn't believe that. So thankful. I got some badass pickups from Kirsten recently, so thanks so much, man. First time to Blu-ray from Scream Factory, we got the Crispin Glover Willard remake. I enjoy this movie a lot. It's weird, but I think Crispin Glover just does a fantastic job in this movie, and I just thought he was just the perfect pick for this part. So happy. Thanks, Scream Factory, for putting this on Blu-ray. Finally found this out in the wild. The Cabin Fever remake I was just recently talking about. And this was released by IFC Midnight Scream Factory. It's a movie that it's a remake that's shot almost shot for shot, you know, to the original. But I still didn't like it as much as the original. But it's still got to have it at Scream Factory, and it's part of the Cabin Fever franchise, so I had to get it. Found this at a pawn shop. Another IFC Midnight release from Scream Factory, Wormwood, Road to the Dead. Found it cheap with a slipcover. I mean, it wasn't really one on the list that I really wanted, but when I find these cheap with a slipcover, I mean, hell yeah, I'm going to grab them. A newer Scream Factory release here, Elizabeth Harvest. I've actually found this at Target. You don't find many Scream Factories at Target. I don't know really anything about it, but it was, you know, pretty decently priced over there. And it was Scream Factory, so had to grab it. Okay, next up is another newer release from Scream Factory, Nicolas Cage in 8mm. So happy that Scream Factory released this film. Definitely a favorite of mine with Joaquin Phoenix. Next up here is Piranha 2, The Spawning. You guys just seen the first one, and I had to get the second one. I really wanted to pick this up on release day, but couldn't get it at the time. But I'm glad I was finally able to get this. This was going to be a collector edition, but something happened. I got changed. But either way, happy to have it. Then we got Saturday the 14th. First time to Blu-ray. So happy that this got released by Scream Factory. Just such a one of the original spoof movies that came out back in the day. So happy to pick that up. So Scream Factory has the first two in this series already released, and they finally put part 3 out now, and that is Howling 3. I think there's a bunch more. I think there's like 5 or 6 or something like that. I've never seen past the first one, but hey, it's a Scream Factory release, so gotta get it. All right, next up here is another newer Scream Factory that I haven't watched yet. I gotta get on this because I bought this one day based off of just seeing the trailer, and I just jumped online and ordered it. I'm so happy it actually came with a slipcover. But I kind of forgot about it, you know, like I do with most movies I get. But now that I'm looking at it here, I got to watch this. But that's Mermaid Lake of the Dead. Check out the trailer. This movie just looks creepy as shit. But definitely we'll get to that soon. And then the last Scream Factory is the one and only collector edition that came out in the month of February, and that is Valentine. So definitely a cool title release for Scream Factory's collector edition line. So, all right, like I said, tons of Scream Factory in the month of February. Now let's get into. Okay, you guys, Vinegar Syndrome. Like I said, went a little crazy and so happy that I got a lot of these titles. I found some really good deals. Some I ordered directly through Vinegar Syndrome because they were newer titles. And then there's a few others that I found on eBay that I got really, really good priced. One in particular I'll show you here. But anyways, so first one up here, we got Bloody New Year. Again, I go in complete detail these movies in the unboxing that I did, so definitely go check that out. But Bloody New Year, Splatter University, another newer one, Wacko, some crazy like slasher films. And then this is the last one I ordered directly from Vinegar Syndrome, but that's Blood Theater. And then you also get the, what's the other movie in here? The Visitants. You actually get 2 movies in here. All right, now this one is a newerish one that I missed ordering from Vinegar Syndrome. And I found a seller on eBay that had the particular slipcover that I wanted, because this got released with like 5 different slipcovers. And I really wanted this one, and he had it for a really good price. Because these Vinegar Syndromes tend to just jack up once they're sold out on Vinegar Syndrome. And this is a sold out title with the slipcover, but the seller had it really reasonably priced, and that is Cutting Class. Such a kick-ass slipcover. Just love it. I'm so happy I was able to get it. Okay, and then the last Vinegar Syndrome is one I'm really excited to show you guys. It's one that's not too old. It's kind of new. I think it came out at like the beginning of last year, if I remember right. But this one I remember sold out super, super quick. I completely missed out on it. And then it went up to like crazy prices on eBay. And I found one that was sitting at like 30 bucks starting bid. And nobody was bidding on it all the way till the end. And then it started jacking up. And in the end, I probably end up getting it for about half of the going price that it's listed for on eBay. But I just love the slipcover. And I wanted it so bad, and that is a movie called Blood Hook. I just cannot believe that I found this edition with the slipcover, because like I said, this is really spendy. I mean, this can go as high as like $200, $250 on eBay. So happy to finally find this. So definitely was awesome adding to the Vinegar Syndromes, because like I said, I don't get them a lot. Vinegar Syndrome just announced a few new titles coming out, I think, this month or next month. And there is one in particular I definitely want to get. So hopefully I do, and you guys will see that next month. So, okay, we've come to the last and final category in this update, my Steelbooks. Lots of kick-ass Steelbooks in this update. So let's go ahead and run through them. I'm going to try to do it as fast as I can. So first up here, we finally got a Steelbook for this movie. I've been after this forever for the MCU collection, and that is Captain America: The First Avenger. Got released to 4K a couple weeks ago, and so they put out a Steelbook of it. If you guys check out my shopping video when this came out a couple weeks ago, go watch it. It was just such a crazy day trying to find the Steelbook, but I finally got it in the end. So there's the front, there's the back, the spine, and check out the inside here. Next up, we got an FYE exclusive, and that is Tremors. Kick-ass Steelbook. Love the art on this one. And then there's the inside. Next up is Zombieland. This is a neat steelbook. Originally, when I seen this at Walmart, it was a metal pack, and then I finally found a steelbook of it. Same artwork and everything. Nothing really on the inside. All right, these next three I'm going to show you. I did show in an unboxing, but I'll just kind of run through it really quick here. These are the ones, the Mondo steelbooks that I got from Italy, Amazon Italy, but we got The Exorcist. And a lot of people ask, like, why don't you have the discs in these? I always take the discs out when I'm showing you guys in the update so you can see the inside art, but it's Exorcist. And then we got 2017 It. It's a spine. And there's the inside. Love the inside. It's like a cartoon look. And then the last one, Friday the 13th. The original. There's the back. Not a lot to this one. Okay, now the next three I'm about to show you here I actually got from fellow YouTuber Friday the 14th, Tony. Really cool guy. He gave me a great deal on these steelbooks that I've been after for a long time. First one up here is Cliffhanger. There's the spine, the back. Love this steelbook so much. Okay, and then the next one here, another one I've been after forever. And that is RoboCop, the original. Got this from him as well. And the inside. And then the last one I got from him is, I really got for Jess, and that is The Princess Bride. This is a really cool looking one. There's the spine, and then the inside. Next up is Pulp Fiction. I got this over at FYE. So happy to find this one. Definitely wanted a steelbook for this movie. Kick ass. This next one here was recently put out by Shout Factory, and that is Platoon. Found this really cheap actually at Half Price Books. And the inside. All right, next up here is one that I actually grabbed for Jess. Found this over at Half Price Books as well. I remember we wanted to get this when it came out like a while ago, like the year before last. And we ended up getting just a slipcover edition, but we found it really cheap. Actually, no, I take it back. I found this at a pawn shop. We found this really cheap at a pawn shop. So I just had to grab it for her, and that is Warcraft. She was happy to get this, even though she doesn't really care about having 2 editions of a movie like I do, but... And there's the inside. Next up here we got The Matrix. Found this at a Half Price Books. Super, super cheap. There's nothing on the inside of this one. I think I found this over at FYE as well. That is Evil Dead. I've already had an Evil Dead steelbook, but this is just like the standard one that you used to be able to find at Best Buy. I never owned it, so I just really wanted it. But there's the front, back, spine, and this one doesn't have anything on the inside either. Found this one over at FYE as well. Get Out. I think this is the one that was exclusively at Best Buy back in the day, and I never picked it up. But I'm glad I was able to find it now. It was cheap. And there's the inside. Another one I snagged over to Half Price Books just because it was super, super cheap. Honestly, this was like probably, I think, $4. That is the Total Recall remake, which I kind of enjoyed. I really like the references to the original. I think Colin Farrell did a pretty decent job, but obviously it never top the original. There's the inside. One more. Okay, I figured I'd save the best for last, and that is Bohemian Rhapsody. When I seen this steelbook, I just knew I wanted to get it. I was really upset that this wasn't embossed, because it really looks like it is, but it's not. But it's still a sweet steelbook. So you can see it's like all gold. You know, there's the front, back, spine. The whole thing is just like gold. And then check out that picture on the inside. So kick-ass. I don't normally double dip on just like regular type movies unless they're like horror, DC, stuff like that. But for this, I had to. Okay, that'll do it for my February Blu-ray update. I tried to run through as fast as I could. Hopefully this video didn't turn out to be too long. But yeah, there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed. March is not too crazy as of right now. So hopefully it won't be anywhere near as big as this update, but still some pretty cool titles in March. Some more from my buddy Kirsten. And I know I've picked up a few more of those DreamWorks slipcovers, so definitely some cool stuff coming. And there's still some pretty kick-ass stuff left to release, this month, still. So anyways, if you guys enjoyed my Blu-ray update, give it a thumbs up. Hit that like button down below. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you guys think of the pickups. If you guys ended up picking up any of these, share the video around. Subscribe if you have not. Again, I say this all the time, you guys. My collection videos are coming. I am so sorry. Be patient. I will get those out. I've reached a point right now in my life that things are crazy busy, and you guys are going to find out very, very soon why things have been crazy for the last few months. So we'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.